First ball at the end of the Pakistan captain.
Looking as fresh as a tearaway 10 years his junior, Glean Mcgrath is on a roll.
Oh, that's gone. Yeah, that's given.
He's into his second century of test matches, rocketing towards 500 wickets and even chalking up a test 50 for good measure. It's very easy to forget Glenn's greatest achievement this year was simply to get back on the field after ankle surgery.
I guess when I look back, it probably was. There was a lot of people that probably doubted me or didn't have the faith in me to come back. For me personally, I always thought it was just a matter of time. The problem was the spurs on the ankle, and once I had them totally removed, I felt all I had to do was get that strong again, get back bowling, get a few overs under the belt, and before long I'd be back, bowling at my best, if not better.
Ball in, clean ball in, and hit the fence. Great cricket by Australia.
Like an entomologist with an insect, Mcgrath carefully examines every batsman, probing and then pinning.
There, the wine and wing.
He has some favourite specimens.
Gone, well caught by Tower. Atherton just lunging forward. Tower took a...
That nagging, suffocating, abrasive approach has been the cornerstone of Australia's pace attack for 12 years, 4 captains, 104 tests and nearly 200 one-dayers. During last summer's layoff, Glenn pondered ever so briefly the idea of a post-injury change of action.
No, I don't think so. I think if I got any slower, I'd be too slow. But I've always been the type of guy that run in, high action, hit the deck, got probably more bounce than actually speed through the air, and that was probably one of my biggest weapons. So, I try to focus on that as well as get the ball through at a pretty decent pace.
10 years ago, when he met Jane Steele, Glenn could never have known what an amazing partnership they'd form. A down-to-earth English rose and an unreconstructed Australian bushie, whose journey to the top began from a caravan park in Sydney's south. His clubmates called him Millard.
Have you ever taken her back and shown her the caravan park?
We haven't actually been in there. We drive past on the way to the cricket ground, so I occasionally point it out and say that was when I first moved to Sydney, 13 months there before moving out with one of my teammates. So it was there's a lot of memories. Been back to Narromine a few times and shown Jane around there. I'd love to one day take Jane out to the property where I grew up and sort of show her all the things there. A lot of things that are special there to me, which I'd love to share with her too.
They are a team, taking on the toughest of all opponents when Jane was told this in 1997.
You have breast cancer. Your sole course of action is a mastectomy. You're going to need chemotherapy, radiotherapy. This could leave you infertile, so you might not be able to have children. And my whole world collapsed. Just absolutely, totally devastating. At that point, I broke down.
Jane endured surgery and 6 months of chemotherapy. The Mcgraths set up a foundation for the St George Cancer Clinic in Sydney.
I think it also puts things in perspective. When you're out in the cricket field and you're having a bit of a tough day, and you come home at the end of the day, and Jane's there, or James and Holly, it sort of really lifts you and thinks, I play cricket because I love playing it, and don't lose sight of that. And at the end of the day, I can walk away from that. Whereas Jane and the kids, it's life. That's what life's all about. It's Jane's shown me the real side of that and the courage that sort of needed just to get through. And I think we're far better people because of it. And we enjoy life a lot more because of it too. So there's been so many positives that have come out of what Jane and I have been through.
Woven into his personal journey are Glenn's efforts to change the one part of his game that offends many Australians. His long-standing reputation as a sledger.
Is it justified?
Sometimes I think not, and other times maybe. I see some of the replays on TV and I think, I wish I hadn't done that, but it's already out there, you can't change it. I feel that I have definitely improved. One of the biggest things was probably when James and Holly were becoming a father, I think puts a different perspective on life too. And I guess at the end of my career, if I look back, I'd rather be remembered for what I achieved on the field rather than how I acted on the field. And that's another thing that's pretty important to me too.
The highs and the lows. Just 2 months before Jane's operation, the first of Glen's 2 8-wicket hauls came at the spiritual home of cricket, confirming a new bogeyman for our ancient opponent.
There's days when you bowl a heap of rubbish and walk away with 5 wickets or more. Days you bowl the best you bowl and you don't get a wicket. And I feel as long as I'm happy with the way I'm bowling, I know the wickets will come. So they sort of even themselves out in the end.
That steady persistence is beginning to bear all sorts of fruit. 2004 is very definitely the year of the pigeon.
In a survey of the Australian Test team, you were voted the biggest pest, unanimously. Have you anything to say in your defence?
A little bit harsh, I think, but to me it's, cricket, like life, I guess, is all about enjoying it, having a bit of fun.
He's always throwing things at you, always hiding stuff in the change room.
Sometimes you can take things too seriously. The bowlers in the team, enjoy a bit of fun and games a bit more than the batsmen. They can be a bit serious sometimes.
Well, I just don't find it funny, actually. Like, to tap on the shoulder here and look around is never there.
Just try to lighten the moment and have a bit of fun, and that's what it's all about.
He's a pest, a genuine pest.
I guess I can tick off another goal achieved if they think, I got under their skin a bit or annoyed them or had a bit of fun with them.
And they with him. Witness Jason Gillespie's merciless hair makeover whenever Glen takes a wicket. Aware of Glen's ambition to score a Test 50, teammates watched as he shed his batting bunny ears in Brisbane. But at no stage did he expect or want to be taken seriously.
Glean Mcgrath this time, a real biggie over mid-wicket. Boy, how would Mcgrath enjoy that.
Some people say nervous 90s, coming up to 100, coming up to... The only thing I can sort of relate that to is coming through the 40s to get to the 50s, to 50. And I must say I didn't feel any nerves at all. There was no nervous 40s.
Well, he's done it, and he's done it in grand style with a boundary. Well done.
Ironically, that innings took Glen past the 500 Test run mark, but it's wickets that he wants to push in that direction. As the first Australian quick to play 100 Tests, the pigeon is beginning to leave his mark all over the record books, soaring ever onwards and upwards.
That's my next major goal. But to me, 500 Test wickets for any bowler is a huge or a major milestone. This is the minimum I wanted to achieve out of the game for me personally, and if I can do that, that'll be a pretty big moment.